All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Gravy back with his Big O. This is more of a tutorials video, but I'm sure I'll have some opinions to share along my way. Now, this video is going to cover the government's new FFA regulation and requirement as of December 21st, 2015 to register your drones, and that's any drone that weighs over 0.55 pounds, a little bit more than half a pound, and under 55 pounds. This is the way you're going to register those. Keep in mind, failure to register your drones that meet those criteria, being more than a little over half a pound and less than 55 pounds, can end up in civil liability or criminal liability. So it's important to go ahead and register your drones or your quadcopters, your hexacopters, as they're going to refer to them as UAS. So let's go ahead and visit the ways to find this. Now you can either go to Google, you can type in, FAA drone registration. Click there. It'll probably bring up the link, which is going to be right here, UAS registration. Now, when they say UAS, what they stand for is Unmanned Aircraft Systems, and their registration. If you go into just FFA.gov, it's going to bring up the main FAA website. Then you're going to go over here to license and certificates. Whew, having a hard time talking today. You click on aircraft certifications, and then let's see here. Let's just forget that. If you go in here and you put in UAS, which again is what they're calling their unmanned aircraft systems, and you do a search for it this way, you figured there'd be a huge thing right there on the front of the FAA website saying, hey, look, this is where you go, but it's not. So it may be easier just to go ahead and Google it and go that route. But anyways, if you go here where it says Unmanned Aircraft System, this is going to be their general page. Now, through here is a bunch of good read that you as a drone or quadcopter, or let's just go with the government calls it, a UAS owner, should read, understand, and appreciate, all right, and take seriously. Being a responsible UAS owner is what's helpful to keeping us from having more stringent regulations put on top of us folks that like to actually enjoy flying our UAS whenever we can. But there is quite a bit of reading down here to make you understand that the operations, most everybody will look at the public operations, civil operations, and then model aircraft, and take a read through all that. It's all important information and good to understand. Now on the left hand side here, you're going to see the UAS registration. Now once again, we're back to this page we started at. If you just simply type in FAA UAS registration, FAA drone registration, it'll all pop up with this website for the registration. Once again, from here on out, we're going to try to use the term UAS in this video. But if you go through here, it's going to let you know that on December 21st, anyone who owns a small unmanned aircraft of a certain weight, referring to that 0.55 pounds or more, must register with the Federal Aviation Administration Unmanned Aircraft Systems, the UAS, registry before they fly outdoors. So those of you that are strictly indoor flyers and you have a half pound or bigger thing you want to fly indoors, Lord be with you. But those that want to venture outdoors, we need to register our stuff, right, guys? Just keep from having more mishaps that are going to further tie our hands as responsible UAS operators. Now, if you register by February 19th, if you've been previously operating UAS, you have to register by the 19th. Anyways, you can read that yourself. This is where it talks about civil and criminal penalties if you fail to register and you do things you shouldn't do with your UAS, or you have fly off and that causes a problem, so on and so forth. So just register it and be done with it. Now, let's let you know that 13 years of age or older, you must register. If you're less than 13, then you need to have your person, or if you have a kid that's less than 13, you need to have a person who's 13 years or older register the small unmanned aircraft. And it's going to be registered in their name, but I mean, it needs to be registered, right? I can't drive that home enough. And only U.S. citizens and legal permanent residents. That's exactly what you must be to operate a UAS in the United States. You have to be at least 13 years or older. Or at least be most likely supervised, although it doesn't specifically say here. This is what goes over what I was telling you earlier. It has to be more than 0.55 pounds, less than 55 pounds. If it's over 55 pounds, you are in a whole other league of registration. Okay, now if you're over the 55 pounds or you want to do commercial, if it's going to be used for other than hobby or recreation, or you intend to operate the aircraft outside of the United States, there's a whole other method. You can't do it online. You have to do it by paper. So this goes over how to register. Now right now, if you register before January 20th, you're going to get your $5 registration fee. You're still going to pay it up front, but they're going to reimburse you. Now I'll tell you, when I registered mine a week ago, I have still yet to get reimbursed at $5. I don't know if that's going to happen after the 20th or exactly what the plan is, but they're telling us right here that the $5 registration fee will be refunded. You're going to need an email address, credit debit card, physical address, mailing address, and just so when you do it, it's valid for 3 years. And that registration number can be put on any of your crafts. So you only have to register one time, and you can reuse that number on your craft, but you have to label your craft after you register it. I used a heat iron and actually melted the numbers into mine, but mine is not a high-end, super expensive, DJI Phantom. You could obviously, get somebody that has the ability to print out some decals with the number and just affix it to your drone. It's also a good idea to go ahead and have an email address or some kind of a contact in the event that you do have a flyaway. If it's located, somebody can hopefully do the right thing, get a hold of you to make sure you get your vehicle back, your UAS back. So there's additional resources. Let's go ahead and see if I can walk you through part of this registration process. Now I've already done this, so I'm going to do this with a separate email account and get you most way through the process. I'm not going to finish the process though, so you're going to come up to this very nice blue screen. Looks very user friendly. Obviously, if a 13-year-old is needed to register their drone, then they don't want to make it overcomplicated. Or if you're just a very, very old-fashioned individual who's not very tech savvy, they need to make it easy for y'all too, in case you're trying to pick up a hobby or you've been flying and doing this hobby for a while before they required it. So we're going to click on the register your drone. Here you're going to enter your email address. I'll enter mine, if I can remember it. Alright. And then we're going to create a password, which I'm not going to let y'all see, so, but okay. And then we're going to click to create an account. Values do not match. Obviously I can't type, just like I can't talk today, so I wasn't able to recreate my first attempt at a password, so hopefully my second attempt will work a little bit smoother. Alright, almost done. Now they just sent us a verification email, which we're going to have to go to in order to be able to get to the next phase. So let's go ahead and change over here. We'll go to jump into Gmail, and there it is. So this is the email we're going to look at. It's going to give us this little link here to click on over to the next stage. And here we're going to have the registration system use notice. That way we can explain all these good things that basically let us know that what we're going to be entering is safe. So in order to get back in, I need to re-verify my logon. Obviously, they want me to do it one more time, so let's do that. All right. Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh, let's just use autofill. Autofill is probably a good way to go here. Save us some headache of watching me have to retype this in one more time. Alright. Never. Alright, now we're going to walk through here. You're going to enter your first name. You know, fill this out. Middle name, last name. If you have a suffix, junior, senior, third, 12th, whatever. Your phone number is optional, and an alternate email is optional. So those up to you. If you're afraid of Big Brother looking into your life too much, and this is already frustrating you that you have to do this, there's a way for some relief there. You don't even got to tell them your middle initial, or you don't even have to let them know whether or not you're a fourth or a fifth, or so on and so forth. So that should relieve your conspiracy bubble a little bit, which is a good thing. Not knocking it, each to their own. So then we're gonna go down and you enter your physical address. If you have an apartment, so on and so forth, your city, your state, your zip code. Now, if your mailing address is the same as your physical, you click here, it'll populate it all back down here, and then you're going to click proceed to checkout. Now, when you get to the checkout screen, well, here, let me just type in some, well, let's see here. Hi, nice to meet you. Since I'm not going to actually finish this, I'm not going to type in my actual information. I do not recommend that you lie on government forms. Don't do it. That in and of itself is a whole world of problems. So if you fill this out, fill it out with your information. Don't make up information to get those numbers, because if you do, not only are you going to be in federal violation for not being properly registered, you're going to be in a whole different level of federal violation for falsifying information on government documents, I'm sure. So let's see here. Make up an address. Alright. Where I've always wanted to live. Let's see here. Let's just go to Tucson, Arizona, and then we'll put in a zip code of. Alright. Totally made up zip code. Have no idea where that's at. Here's the same. Now we're going to proceed to checkout. Now, here at the checkout screen, you're going to walk you through your safety and your payment, so you know that when you, even as a non-registered drone owner, UAS owner, you should fly below 400 feet. You have to fly within line of sight. You got to stay away from FAA airspace, and it shows you where to go look for that. You can't fly directly over people. You can't fly over stadiums and sporting events. You will not fly near emergency response efforts such as fires. You will not fly near aircraft, especially near airports, which goes back to the FAA airspace requirements. And you will not fly under the influence. You cannot be out there drunk flying your UAS and expect to not get in trouble. Click to learn more, and they'll give you some more information. Now, of course, you have to authorize that you read and you understood that. Obviously, this is where we're going to enter our payment information. So you do all that, you hit next, and this is where my interaction starts because I've already done it. Okay. When you get to review and pay, it'll go over every information you put in, your personal information, your payment information, the amount of money you're going to pay. You'll hit submit, and then you'll get your confirmation. Now, after you get your confirmation, you'll shortly after that you'll get a email in that original email address you entered, and at that time you'll receive your certificate. And I know that's exciting, right? What I did with mine, I actually printed my certificate out. It's a little card-sized certificate, and I actually folded it up and I put it in the back of my remote control, or I'm sorry, my receiver, transceiver, whatever term you hardcore hobbyists want to call it. I'm old school. It's a remote control. I mean, it's been a remote control since I was driving around when they were attached with wire when I was a baby. But anyways, you put those in your transmitter controller. I put mine in the back where the battery compartment is, put the lid over it so it's there in the event that I have to have it. And I have no idea what would warrant me having to provide that and show that to somebody, but it's there. It also goes back over and tells you that you need to uh, display those numbers they're going to assign you on that certificate need to be on your drone itself. So you're going to have to apply them with either a permanent marker, spray paint, decal. Like I said, I had an iron, so I just burned the numbers into mine. Those are all the proper procedures in order to be able to take care of that. And you do it once and you're good for 3 years, and 3 years from now when we come back, hopefully we've all been very responsible UAS owners, and we're going to be able to go ahead and not have to worry about increased rules and restrictions on our flight. There's already enough as it is. I mean, let's get real, people. So once again, if you register before January 21st, 2016, they will automatically rebate the $5 registration fee. So the registration is free. They'll automatically refund the $5 fee to the credit card used. After January 21st, 2016, the registration is going to cost a whole $5, people. So, you go out and you buy somebody a drone, buy them a gift card, a Visa card, prepaid card or something, so they can go online and pay their $5 and register it. I mean, it's not an exorbitant amount of money that they're asking for, so let's just get this done. I guess to recap, the easiest way to do this is to just go to Google, type in UAS registration FAA or FAA US registration, whatever, and that's going to bring up here, and right here, the very first one you come to. Now I want you to please pay attention and make sure you see the FAA.gov in the link you click on, alright, because we want to make sure you're going to the right page, and it should look like this. Read the page, click the link, boom, you're there. Alright, that's going to about cover it. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Once again, I want to thank you all for sticking through and watching this video. Hopefully have a bunch more content. Have a bunch more content coming out, and kind of steadily, a couple of months, 3-4 times a month, have a new video put up reviewing new products, giving my opinion. My opinion on this is, yeah, it's kind of a headache that you have to do it, but once every 3 years, and I get to go out and fly my drone and not stress if I have a flyaway too much about getting any kind of federal problems. Civil's going to be a little hard to beat if you fly it into a Mercedes-Benz or break somebody's car or kill their pet dog with it. But just remember, be responsible. I appreciate you listening and watching. Hit the thumbs up button. Got a question, leave a comment. Give me a follow. And that's it. Big Gravy Zoe.